The story begins with a visual of a big love hotel, named Hotel Neon Sign. And this was the day where we see our main character Yuashiki was thrown into hell by his girlfriend. Inside the hotel, our main character Yuashiki and his girlfriend Karen were making love to each other. And they were saying they love each other too. After that, Karen went to take a bath. On the other hand, Yu was lying on the bed and he was thinking that he and Karen will spend the whole night together in the love hotel, and Yuashiki was feeling really great about that. Karen is the first girlfriend Yu has had since he entered college. Yuashiki finds her really cute and brave, and he thinks that they were actually made for each other. And as he was thinking about all of these things, suddenly a message notification came to phone. And there he thinks that he told his mother that he was going to spend the night out. Then what is it now? Upon checking, you realize that it was Karen's phone, and in the messages someone asked her if she was free, and that he has time now. So that's why he was texting now. Seeing these messages, Yu was flabbergasted to say the least. Yuashiki then said to himself what was actually going on. And ready some previous texts, he was really stunned. And there he asks himself in his mind what the heck is happening. And who is this guy who's sending these types of messages to his girlfriend in the middle of the night? Afterward, reading some more texts, Yuashiki came to understand that it was their senior Kamakura Tetsuya. And he actually was a senpai from Yuashiki's high school. And he was already dating the girl who everyone believes to be the most beautiful from the university, Sakurajima Tuko. Following that, Yu thinks about the guy that has Tuko senpai, but he also laid his hands on his girlfriend Karen. And that was absolutely pathetic according to Yu. So Yu was reading his girlfriend's texts. Karen from the washroom says that she is almost done talking in the bath. Karen then came out of the bathroom, and as she looked at the bed, she saw that Yu was not there. After that, she looked for him in the room, but Yuashiki was nowhere to be found. Yu actually left the hotel. Moments after, we see that Yu was walking on the road and was thinking if he had to describe now, then he would say that it was really strange. After that, Yu remembers how his girlfriend Karen used to lie to him by saying various things. One day she said that she actually promised one of her friends that they'll meet up. Another day she said she will have to go visit her mother. And on another she would say tomorrow is the deadline for her report submission, so she'll have to finish her work. She would make up these lies just to sleep with that guy Kamakura. And as he was thinking all of this, Yu suddenly bumped into another girl who was walking in the road. And a guy who was walking with that girl shouted at him. Then the scene changes and we see Yu is sitting beside a river and is thinking about Kamakura, that even though he has such a beautiful girlfriend, he is still cheating on her. And all of a sudden it cracks in his mind that if they do something to you, then it's okay to do it back too. Yu then called Kamakura's girlfriend Sakurajima Tuko. On the other hand, Sakurajima Tuko was reading something at her house, and it was almost 11 o'clock at night. And upon seeing that Yu is calling her at this late at night, she was a bit taken back by that. After that, she received his call and asked if there was anything wrong, and that was why he was calling at this hour. Yu, on the other hand, was asking Ms. Sakurajima Tuko if she should please have sex with him. Hearing that, Tuko was absolutely flabbergasted to hear that from him because he didn't expect that from him at all. The scene changes and there we see Yu is with his best friend Yuta Ishida in a cafe. And he told everything to him about this Karen's matter and also about what he told Ms. Sakurajima too. Hearing that, Yuta said so he told that to the campus queen and further added that if he was out of his mind or something. In response to that, Yu said it was actually not like that, he just found out that Karen was cheating on after sleeping with her. So at that point he was not in his full senses. Hearing that, Yuta said he is actually sorry to hear that. Following that, Yuta asks Yu what was Ms. Tuko's reaction after hearing that. In response he said he was actually feeling really guilty as he was saying all this to her. So Yu suddenly said so to her right then and there over the phone. Hearing that, Tuko senpai said what happened to him and speculated that there must be a reason for him to spell such no sense to her. She then further goes on to add that she actually doesn't think that Yu is the kind of person who would say something crazy like that for no reason. After that, a hesitant Yu said senpai with a shaky voice. And in response to that, Ms. Tuko says yes and that she is listening to him. And all of a sudden, we see Yu start crying over the phone. Afterwards, he said everything to senpai Tuko, with anger, frustration, and tears. You then said to Yuta that he actually didn't know if she could understand him or not. But she listened until the end. After that she said that she understood the matter. But she asked Yuashiki to calm down first. And then she said that they will talk about it tomorrow, and until then, he should not talk about this matter with anyone. Yuta then said that he is talking to him about it right now. In reply, you said he is Yu's best friend, so it's fine. Yuta, after hearing that, said he was wondering why he called him in the middle of the night, but now he is glad that he did and told him everything. After that, he assured him that he won't be telling anyone about this. After that, he said you doesn't have to do this all alone, but he will have to pay for the food now. Yuashiki then said okay to that. Yuota then asked you that what is he going to do now? To which he said he had no idea about that. And all of a sudden, Yuta asked that if he was going to be making love with Ms. Sakurajima Tuko tomorrow. In response to that, Yuashiki says how can he do that, besides, she sure has her own feeling about this matter. But Yuta says he actually knows for a fact that you and Sakurajima Senpai are going to do it tomorrow. After that, Yuta asks if he has the proof. You said he does and showed the texts between Karen and Sakurajima's boyfriend. After having a look at those texts, Yuta says these got to be hurting to say the least. But suddenly it struck Yuta's mind and he asks, how did you unlock Karen's phone? To which, he said Karen's PIN is her ex-boyfriend's birth date. A disgusted Yuta then said he actually won't tell him to do it, but he will have to think what's the best time to show this to Sakurajima Senpai. Because even the calmest person loses their cool in a situation like this. And he also adds that no one knows what's going to happen when she sees it. The next day we saw Yuashiki at a restaurant, and he was waiting for Sakurajima Senpai. And it's about time for her to arrive. After that, Yu thinks this cafe is far from their university. That's why he hopes that no one finds them. Tuko Senpai and Kamakura are a famous couple in the university. So, it will be a big problem if someone sees them meeting alone. And as he was thinking all these things, Tuko Senpai arrived there. And she said sorry for making him wait. After that, they sat down and started chatting with each other. You then also apologized for last night. To which, Tuko said it's okay, and asks you to talk about the elephant in that room, which was Tetsuya and Karen's affair. After that, Tuko says that she understands how you was feeling right now. She said she just wanted to know if he has any proof of that. And seeing this attitude, you thinks that Tuko Senpai is calm as ever. After that, he shows the pictures of the texts of those two. Seeing the evidence, Tuko was absolutely stunned. And at that moment she didn't know how she should react about that. And shortly after, as she was done seeing the evidence, she said thanks to you and also added that it looks to her that this whole situation looks like a real deal. After that, she also adds that she hates just being here accepting everything. After a while, Tuko takes a sip of her coffee and asks you that this was the reason for him to tell her to do the same with Tetsuya. To which you said yes, that's right. Afterwards, Tuko says sorry to you because she will not do that. In response to that, Yu says she is saying this because she thinks that Yu is not good enough to be her partner. There she responds by saying that's not what she actually meant. Tuko then says that there are actually 3 reasons for her to not cheat on Tetsuya. The first reason is they don't know if that's the real evidence of their affair. To which, a furious Yu said he just showed her the picture of the messages that they'd sent. In response to that, Tuko says she has been told lies like this before about Tetsuya. And she also adds that it could be a prank from Karen. To which you reply that he doesn't think Karen can do anything that complicated. She then said the second reason, if you and Sakurajima Senpai have an affair now, then they wouldn't have grounds to blame them. Tuko Senpai further adds that if the affair rumor is true, then she is going to break up with Tetsuya. But she doesn't want him to tell her that she also had an affair at that point. After hearing these reasons, you said he gets that, but isn't she frustrated at all because he is at this point of time? To which she replies that is actually the third reason. She said that she can't forgive him with just a single ordinary revenge. She will make sure that Tetsuya regret this until he wishes to be no more. Tuko then also adds that, even if he breaks up with her, he'll go out with Karen. So, she's going to make him taste so much regret and despair that he won't be able to easily consider it. Hearing that, Yuashiki was thrilled. Afterward, Tuko says anyways, first she wants actual proof. Yu then asks what does she mean by that? She says, for example, a picture of them going to a love hotel and spending a night together could be proof. Hearing that, you think she is thinking of taking this to trial and that frustrates him. After that, she says Tetsuya lives with his brother, so they can only meet in a love hotel. So, for now they know that they met 3 times. And that their chants are on Monday and Thursday, so she'll be investigating Tetsuya's schedule. And she also wants you to investigate Karen's schedule too. But she also asks him to be careful with his research. And told him that they can't bite until they have a certain aim on their neck. Then she says that, if she and you are going to cheat, then they need irrefutable proof. And hearing that you thinks that means they are going to do it. But suddenly Tuko says that doesn't mean that she is going to cheat on him with you. After that, you thinks Tuko is very strong-minded. Afterward, she said she and Ueshiki are now comrades, and they're in this war against them as friends. You agrees with her, and there they decide to expose their betrayal. And then they will move forward. Following that, we get to learn that Karen and Ueshiki met at a club you joined right after college. And they there felt an instant connection. After that, they got close to each other and started to enjoy each other's company a lot, and they both were getting attracted to each other. After that, Ueshiki was convinced that Karen is the one for him. And Ueshiki was having fun anywhere he went with her. And then Ueshiki started to date Karen. They were at the heights of their happiness at that time, until you found out that Karen was cheating on him. The scene then shifts to a restaurant, where we see Karen and Ueshiki are on a date. And Karen there said that it feels to her that you has lately been cutting back on his expenses. Karen then further goes on to add that they only go to the arcades and karaoke, and they end their date at this restaurant. And she asks, will it be like this from now on? To which an annoyed you replies by asking why is she thinking like that, and that they are students and he thinks it's normal to save a little money. Karen then rudely says, it's not necessary to save right now. She also adds that other people have fancier dates, and according to her men's go out of their way to please their partners. And she nowadays doesn't feel the same from him at all. Hearing that, you asks what is the matter with her, and that she used to say that she enjoyed being anywhere with him. Karen replies by saying that was in the early days of them being together, and now it's always the same with him. And she then also adds that she doesn't want a boyfriend to always be in a rut. After that, Karen says yesterday at the love hotel you left without her permission. And she said that she actually didn't like that at all. And at that point of time she actually felt that Ueshiki had abandoned her. Karen then further goes on to say that he didn't care about the feelings she got to experience at that time. Hearing that, you on the other hand thinks that what right does she have to say something like that to him. After that, you suddenly notice that Karen has been looking at her phone a lot when she is alone. And on behalf of this she says that nowadays she is addicted to playing games on her phone. You actually believed her, but now he knows that it was clearly a lie. And he thinks that it's more than obvious who it is that doesn't care about each other's feelings. Afterward, we see that you says sorry to Karen for yesterday, and also adds that he actually got a call from a friend of his in the area who had been in an accident, so that's why he had to go to his aid. After that, he says he actually didn't know if this can make up for it, but next time he'll book a date at a nice restaurant. And then he asks her if she has any specific requests. To which Karen replies while being on the phone that it's really inconsiderate to ask a girl what she wants on a date. Hearing that, you was about to lose his temper. But suddenly he remembers that he'll have to go with the flow, and that Miss Sakurajima Tuko senpai told him not to lose his temper with Karen. So, you then recomposed himself, and said that he guessed so with a smile on his face. After that, you says to Karen that he'll do what he can to make her happy again. And he then asks how about they go on a date this Thursday. Hearing that, Karen was stunned, and we can see that she was really scared about going on a date with you on Thursday. And shortly after, Karen replies that she actually has a part-time job on Thursday. The next day, we see Sakurajima Tuko senpai with you in a park, sitting together having a drink, and they were discussing what had happened with you and Karen. After that, you asks where Kamakura is. Tuko replies by saying that he said he will have to attend something tonight. Suddenly you said that he knew it. But Tuko, on the other hand, said that doesn't mean that the two of them might be seeing each other on sly. You then said that he thinks that it is kind of obvious. But we can see on the other hand that Tuko is actually hurt by imagining Tetsuya and Karen together. So, She was almost about to break down in tears there at the park bench, and you actually noticed that, and was sad to see her like that. After that, Yuashiki says it is very hard for him to say, but the truth is Karen is not interested in him anymore. Hearing that, Tuko asks what happened, and why is he saying such a thing? To which Yu replies, she actually doesn't like him anymore. And she hates the fact that their relationship has fallen into a routine now. Tuko then asks him where do they usually meet. Yu says at a coffee shop, after karaoke, video games, and watching movies. And that they used to like walking around the town, going to a restaurant, and that's it. Afterward, Tuko says that there is nothing wrong with that, and it's fun to go anywhere with someone that they like. After that, Yu reveals that Karen says other couples tend to date more elegantly. Tuko then says, regarding the main topic, she doesn't think that Tetsuya is hiding something from her. That's why they should just set the record straight. Hearing that, Yu asks what she means by that. To which, Tuko asks Yu that what specifically will he do? What will he tell her Karen if he had a chance? He says he will ask her if she is having an affair. Yu actually wants to confront her and get her to tell him the truth. After that, he also says that he told Karen that he has booked a date at a nice restaurant, because Karen's birthday is coming soon. In fact, it is this coming Saturday. Hearing that, Tuka was shocked. So, Yu asked him what happened and why she gave him this strange look. Tuka then reveals that Tetsuya asked her to go to his apartment and stay with him. In response, Yu said he thought Tetsuya was leaving with his brother. Tuko then enlightened Yu by saying Tetsuya's brother is on a business trip, and she also added that Tetsuya was behaving quite strangely and persistently, though she hadn't responded to his request yet. Although, if she refuses to go, then Tetsuya might call Karen if they are having an affair. And suddenly, she says that it's decided that she is not going this Saturday, and this will be their chance to find out what they're up to this Saturday. And Yu agrees with her on that note. After that, she left the place via cab. The scene then changes and we see Karen is at her house, and she is talking to Tetsuya on the phone. Karen then thanked him for the necklace that he gave her as a gift, and also adds that he has a great taste. Hearing that, Tetsuya asks her if his test was better than Yu. In response, Karen laughs and says of course, and he is very different from you. Afterward, Tetsuya says that he is looking forward to meeting her. And after that, they cut off the phone by greeting each other. And there we see that at that time Tetsuya was with another girl at that time. And on the other hand, Karen hangs the necklace in a stand, and according to her it was looking great. After a few days passed, it's Saturday and it's Karen's birthday. And as he planned, you took Karen to a fancy restaurant. And upon arriving at the restaurant, we see Karen looked a bit stunned, and seeing that you asked her that if she doesn't like the restaurant or something. To which she replies not at all. Following that, we see Karen and you enter the restaurant. And you there started to place his orders for the food. And on the other side of the table, Karen was staring at him with a look of disgrace. Karen then asks you that why he was ordering like that, and why he was not ordering any alcohol. And then he suggests that, in this case, the right thing that Yuashiki can do is order a bottle. And it would even be better if he did a proper tasting too. She then also adds that it would be even more ideal if he could just order a bottle of wine from the year she was born. A stunned Yu Ishiki responded to this comment by saying that he is not actually someone with that kind of knowledge. A very angry Karen then says he is absolutely right about that, and also adds that he is actually a fool. Hearing that, Yu assumes that Karen is in a bad mood, and the situation is actually getting out of hand now. And understanding that, Yu quickly apologized to her, and then said that he has a gift for her. And as he was saying all these things, the waiter brought the food to the table. And after tasting that, Karen says that it was fabulous to say the least. And she also added that they can expect more of the same from Primo Piatto. Hearing that, Yu asks Karen what Primo Piatto is. Karen replies that you actually don't even know how to structure an Italian meal. After that, Karen started to name some Italian food names that are specialized in this particular restaurant. Yu then asks Karen how did she know so much about this restaurant, and if she had been here before. To which she answered, she has actually read some articles about this restaurant. But on the other hand, we see although Yu was interacting with Karen normally, but it was getting really hard for him to do so, because You just couldn't get his mind off of the fact that Karen was actually cheating on him like this. And every time you was trying to behave normal with Karen, all those texts were appearing in front of his eye, and he there was just couldn't take that anymore. But slowly you then regained his composure. After that, Karen says that the main course food item has a really subtle flavor, and she was actually enjoying her food very much. And on the other hand, you was thinking that he shouldn't think about those texts, because, after all, it's Karen's birthday, so he thinks that he just needs to relax a bit and enjoy the day. You then said that he actually bought a present for Karen, and he gave that to her. And after receiving the present, we see that Karen was really happy. And there she asked if she should open the gift, to which Ishiki says she should go for it. As she opened her gift, she saw it was a beautiful handbag. He says he actually remembers hearing Karen talking about it. After that, he asks if she liked the gift. Karen said yes with a big smile on her face. And she also thanked you for remembering it. You then realized that Karen was smiling the same way she did that day. And he knows that it's a selfish way of his, but he thinks that it's Karen's way of saying that she loves him. But on second thoughts, he thinks that he could be wrong. Afterward, you asked Karen what she wants to do now. Hearing that, Karen was a little scared, and she goes on to say that she is sorry, but she is actually going out with some friends. They also want to celebrate her birthday. So, she will have to go home now. And as she left the place, you straight away texted Tuko that Karen had just left the place moments ago. And reading that Tuko was like she knew it. And afterward, we see that you arrived in front of Tetsuya's house in a car. And shortly after, Tuko also joined him. Tuko then asks you that if there was any news. In response, you said no one has entered or left the place since he arrived. You then asks Tuko where Tetsuya is. In reply, Tuko said, Tetsuya told her that he was going to buy a microwave oven. Hearing that, you says so, if he was with Tuko all this time, that means he must have already been back here since he and Tuko's parted. To which, she answered she didn't know about that. After that, you said that it's going to be a long night for them. Following that, we see both of them were eating and waiting for Tetsuya and Karen's arrival. And you then ask Tuko if she thinks that they will come here. To which she then again says she has no idea or about that. Following that, they decided to move to the back seat of the car so they can't see them. And we can see that Tuko and Ishiki were there with cameras and full preparation. Because according to Tuko, it's not going to be a half-hearted revenge. And all of a sudden, they see that Tetsuya and Karen arrived at the place drunk, and they were walking towards Tetsuya's house. And all of a sudden, in front of Tetsuya's main gate, they started kissing each other. And at that time, Ishiki took a video of that moment. On the other hand, Tetsuya and Karen entered Tetsuya's house. After that, you said that it's confirmed now. But Tuko says there is not enough evidence yet. You is bothered by this, as he can't believe that she wants more evidence. Tuko explains that they need more evidence than what they have, because she doesn't want those two to use any loopholes. She intends to catch them red-handed. You finds this ridiculous, so Tuko tells him that he can leave if he wants to. But you refuses to go home, and after that they both decide to stay there. Following that, Tuko asks you that how did his and Karen's date went, to which he elaborated the whole date to her, and she then goes on to say that how did she meet Tetsuya. And as she was describing, Tuko suddenly started crying, and she was broken down in pain, and then Ishiki hugged her and said he always thought that she is a strong and great person. But strong people also have emotions too, and in a time like this it's okay to depend on someone. And he holds her tight, and as they were hugging each other, Ishiki thinks that Tuko is hurt even more than him. And he was also wondering what he should do to make her feel good again. And all of a sudden, you said to Tuko that she should forget about Tetsuya. Hearing that, Tuko flabbergasted. And then you also said that she should forget him because, from now on he will protect her. Tuko then looked at you and then said to you that, if it's him, then she can trust him. And she also asks Ishiki you to stand by her. Afterward, you held her trembling shoulders and steeled himself to protect her. And then you said Tuko that they should stay together tonight. And we see that they faded into the darkness of the night. The next day, you told everything to his best friend Yuta. But Yuta, on the other hand, was not willing to believe him. So that's why Yuta then asked you to stop marking up random stories and dialogues. But you said to Tuko that actually happened that night. After that, Yuta says, so that means Yuta watched at the appointment until the last train was gone with his crying senpai, and then you actually saw her off to her residence, and that's what happened according to you. To which Ueshiki says that he actually did what any nice person would have done if they were in his place last night. And then Ueshiki also goes on to add that Toko-senpai isn't just some girl to conquer in a gal game, and that there is no way he would even think of taking advantage of her when she is vulnerable.